What's going on, ladies and gents? Jake, aka Countdown Ended, bringing you a bit of a different show today. That's right, it's Into Somewhere Recap, because I've got the one, the only, the sister from another mister, the video game legend herself. It's DJ Anime 2016. Give it up for Liz, she's here.
Yo, what's up?
Oh, so glad to have you here. And I'm even more excited, selfishly, to hear about your amazing trip to NXT Live last night. So I heard you were going, you told us, and that you were going to see him in Knoxville at the old Civic Coliseum there, the old, hockey arena. So we've got your
yeah, it was
videos
definitely an
playing.
old hockey arena. I mean, I've never even been in that building, and I was like, wow, this is such. And the seats were like old seats. They were not very comfortable to sit on. So
no,
they were very uncomfortable.
It reminds me so much of the New Haven Coliseum we used to have here. WWF, used to go there all the time. Like that was their home base, basically. When they weren't at MSG, that was their home away from home. So because it was so close to Stamford. But
yeah, it was.
That's what this place reminds me of.
Older venue.
Absolutely, but out and out, that's what this reminded me of, and I was so excited seeing online that, we got some of the leaks earlier. The Street Profits were going to be there, and you ended up getting one hell of an NXT card. And I'm glad that they keep the storylines and kayfabe going throughout. And some interesting developments today.
No, it was funny because the Street Profits were there, and then Santos Escobar showed up. I was like, where the hell is he been?
Yes, big surprise to see him back. I don't know if he's just out warming up or if he's going to be in NXT now. I'm kind of unsure.
No, he came out to tag with Ethan Page. So, which I thought was kind of weird, but okay.
Yeah, regardless, I'm excited he's back to being a heel. I thought he was going to be a face with how much momentum he had behind him.
And Ethan Page tried to wrestle with a luchador mask on. That was hilarious.
Yes, I got to love that. There's Thea Hale coming out now, a firecracker that she is.
I tell you one thing, that girl, she's the most vocalist person I've ever heard in a ring. Oh my God. I could hear her from where I was sitting. You could hear everything she was saying. I was like, oh my God, she's so loud.
Yeah, clear as day. She's another Cena calling spots, but I'm telling you, she's just got so much energy and her passion level is so high that it's fun. And
she has that energy. So
there's Fatal Influence. Yeah, you certainly got one hell of a show this is what they need to be doing as well. And I love right off the bat, like we said, it's the Civic Coliseum. It's a smaller venue, but it's intentionally smaller. So you get this really cool aesthetic where it's only like the upper echelon of wrestling fans that want to be there. You're not going to find like stragglers because it's not a TV, appearance. It's people that absolutely want to be there. It's usually not comp tickets and stuff. And having that type of crowd be that close together, making it that passionate of an engagement, it's really fun. When I saw TakeOver, I think it was 25, where they had to hurry up and scrap the other location. I think they were going to be in Texas, and they had to move it to Bridgeport. And it was Gargano taking on Adam Cole, and Adam was the heel, but the crowd loved him. And the energy you felt with a small crowd like that, just a couple thousand, a couple hundred more, and it'd be different, but it's so energetic. And I love that they stepped up their game with production value. You got this awesome, full entrance going on. It feels like you're watching a weekly episode of NXT. Ricky looks great.
Ricky Saints.
And great seats. I love me some Ricky Saints. So I'm glad to see that he's thriving in NXT.
They even had the new guy from France. He was there last night.
Elio Lafleur.
Elio.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, his entrance is pretty cool. I was kind of like, who is this guy? And I was like, oh, it's the new guy. Duh.
Yeah, taking on Cutler James from Dark State.
Yeah.
You got to see the Dark State come out twice, so that's
they came out with they were out there with Cutler. They came out with Cutler and stayed around the ringside, and then after the match was over, then they started attacking Elio, and then Hank and Tank and Tavion Heights came out, and they were like, well, let's just have a match right now.
Love those.
They had another match.
Gotta love those moments. So we'll go through the top of the card. It was on Thursday, January 29th, yesterday, as we record this. The Street Profits, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins saying they want the smoke, taking on Lexus King. And as you told me, Charlie Dempsey, surprisingly enough, because Brooks Jensen was unable to compete, so they swapped in Mr. Dempsey.
Either that, or he couldn't get there, or they had weather delays, or who knows? You never know.
There's a lot of snow, and let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It's been happening nonstop, so I don't doubt there being traffic delays and backups and all sorts of things causing those problems. But
yeah.
You said it was still a hell of a match. The Street Profits look great. Checking out.
Street Profits look great.
Yeah, Blake Howard was the announcer.
I'm just kind of like, it's time to get on the main. It's time to get back to the main roster, boys.
And yes, the Street Profits did end up winning. You got a really solid 8-match card. And about how long were the matches? Like typical 10, 12-minute fairs, or
10, I don't know. I didn't really keep track on the time.
Rough estimate, yeah.
This match was pretty good. It was pretty long. The triple threat between Tatum and Zarya and Izzy was probably one of the longer matches.
I believe it. Absolutely. And there's Mr. Elio LaFleur. He has been this character for quite some time. I looked him up, and he's damn entertaining. I mean, he's really a great wrestler. He was around where there were no luchadors, and the luchador, that story is true. The luchador taught him, gave him like the best star pupil mask, and since then he's wrestled in the mask, and he's been in a sea of people with no luchador masks overseas. So it's been pretty crazy to see his his rise to success and fame. But yeah, Jada Parker coming back. Jada Parker. Taking on Carmen Petrovic. That's a pretty obvious who's going to win, but how was this match?
That match was probably that match didn't last very long. That was a kind of short match. I was kind of like,
Probably the shortest of the bunch, no doubt. You see, I've always been infatuated with Jada Parker because of her charisma. It's off the charts. She's just got that slappable yet lovable face. Like, even when she's being bitchy and mean, you're still like, damn, that's my girl. Like, she's that charismatic. So when she started to hone her craft and get better in the ring and tighten things up, she made her finisher, the hypnotic and whatnot, start to look more effective. And it wasn't just a side thrust. She really, really went ahead and tried. And that made a big difference. So I'm glad to see that she won here and that she's getting a good push on NXT.
Oh, yeah.
Now you had Fallon Henley from Fatal Influence, the Gals in Red, with Lainey Reed. And they're, JC Jane, she's with them, I'm assuming.
JC Jane wasn't there.
No, she wasn't there. Then they had Serena Linton and Thea Hale teaming up to take on those two. And you said this was a good match, though. Thea Hale is...
It was a pretty good match.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the Fatal Influence won. Obviously, they cheated, but they won. But,
Knew that was going to happen. They're good about that. Yeah, Lainey Reed is someone that I'm very impressed with. She rose up through Evolve very quickly and was able to ascend the ranks, and she's done very well for herself. She's fit in quite nicely with Fatal Influence, and I like what they've done with the threesome of the group. Shiloh Hill's another one that I'm really infatuated with.
She was supposed to be there, but I don't know why she wasn't there.
Yeah, because originally she was in a match. I think she was in the women's triple threat, maybe, or something. I saw her advertised somewhere.
Yeah, she was advertised to be there, but, as they say, card is subject to change.
Yes.
So
then you had the NXT Women's North American Championship title match, and that was the triple threat you mentioned. So Izzy Dane defends her title against Miss Tatum Paxley and
Zarya.
Zarya, holy hell. Yeah, Zarya's been on a tear. She's doing great.
Zarya had red hair last night. I was like, wait a second.
She changed it up a bit.
Last time I saw her.
She changed it up a bit. She wanted to, look a little bit more fierce. And then, like you said, to kind of have these ones practice, because Zarya is basically taking the place of Lola Vice. And we'll see Lola have her day yet and what happens there. But I don't know.
Yep.
It's interesting that Izzy's keeping the title, because she really didn't beat anybody. The way she got the title was such a farce, and she was able to cheat with the culling to get it to actually come to fruition. So, hey, all right. I just wish they made her look a bit stronger rather than her having to pick up the win that Tatum would have had or Zarya would have had, that kind of idea. So, I get she's a heel. Heels need to cheat, but it'd be nice to believe that she could also win, too. There's my favorite coming out, Ethan Page with the bass thumping ego.
Oh God, that music, his music in that little venue. Oh my God, it was so loud. I was like,
I'm sure it must have blasted your ears out. Sounds great. I was afraid of the copyright with the music, so we've got it playing softly in the back, but we'll upload the full versions as a short. And holy cow, like you said, the volume kicks for this one. You could feel it in your soul.
And, he came out there and all his little, and then he did a little, he talked about, I don't know what he talked about the city of Knoxville and all this craziness. And then he came, he's like,
yep,
I'm going to wrestle in a luchador mask. And I'm like, oh my God.
He wants to do it. He wants to compete and show Dr. Wagner
and then
Jr.
halfway through the match, he took it off. He told Santos, I can't do it. It's too hot in here. I can't breathe. Hot. I can't do it.
That's even better. Oh God. See, that's why he's one of my favorites. Even when he takes you off, he's so entertaining. So we mentioned Elio LaFleur and Cutler James. Elio beats Cutler. Yeah, everybody's fighting. And then that's where we got into this match right here with Hank and Tank and Tavion Heights, as we see right there, clearing the ring. But Dark State does get the better of them. You said it was pretty much a standard tag team affair, but a fun match.
It was a triple threat match. It was like a 6-man tag match is what it turned into.
Yeah.
So.
Which, hey, that works out. And
but Dark State cheated, so you know how that goes. The heels won, and of course, Hank and Tank. I forgot which one of them. They called Elio their French croissant. I was like, what the heck, bro?
And before we get into the main event, the little French croissants. I know you said that they didn't honor like ticket time either. That was a little bit of an issue because they left you guys outside freezing.
The thing is on the website for the venue, it said on that event, on NXT's specific event, it said doors open an hour and a half before the show. So that'd be 6 o'clock because the show started at 7:30.
Yeah, we see it right there. Exactly.
So we get a lift. We schedule a lift to get there at like 6 o'clock. Of course, the venue's only 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
We could have walked, but
hey,
it's too
cold. It's way too cold.
So we got a lift, and the lift guy texted me at like 10 till 6 that he's already there. And I'm like, you're too early.
You made great time, but by the way, we're only going 90 seconds in a car, so you can go
pretty
super
much, yeah.
slow.
So it was kind of like, so we get down there, and it's like, we get there right at 6 o'clock. So we're like, okay, cool. They should have the doors open any minute now.
Any minute.
Any minute now.
Any minute, guys.
30 minutes later, they open the goddamn door.
You're just a listicle at that point. You're frozen solid.
I was literally, everybody out there was like, can you please open the door?
Yeah. Forget if you have to pee. You're just frozen solid and using that for warmth. And then you get in there.
Tonight they're going to be in Nashville where they had all that ice and people are still without power up there. So
ice in Nashville. I thought that was Minnesota. No, I kid. But
no.
They go ahead and boy, oh boy, like they make you freeze indoors too because it's the old hockey coliseum. There's not heat. Yeah. Around the arena, only when you first walk in. No. Yeah, so it's cold in there, and
when you walk in the front door, it's like oh, the heat. It feels so great, and it's like and of course they got concessions set up around area where the merch table was downstairs. They didn't have anything. All they had was stuff you get off the website.
Yeah,
pretty much. So,
that's no fun.
But they had like concessions downstairs, a concession in our area where we were sitting. They had a concession out in the hall, in the main hall there.
Yeah, so they had it set for that, of course. Yeah, NXT's merch is never usually great unless you go to like a WWE pop-up where NXT is going to be featured.
They had a Joe Hendry. They had the Joe Hendry shirt, and I was like, "Oh, I could get that off the website."
Yeah, so, probably cheaper too, and definitely cheaper if you wait for a coupon code.
And the kid sitting next to me wanted to see Joe Hendry so bad. He kept asking me, "You think Joe Hendry's coming out? You think Joe Hendry's coming out?" I'm like, "I don't think so."
I don't think so. I wish he was there for you. That would have been great. And that boy wanted to see him. I mean, he's so popular now, and that's why I'm worried. I don't want him to be just an entrance. It was a little kid, and he had I think he had some kind of speech problem or speech
issue or whatnot. And he kept asking me all these questions like, are they a heel? Are they good? Are they bad? He kept every person that came out. I was like, oh my God.
Simple joys though. You made his night by being the encyclopedia of knowledge. Now he won't forget that.
Oh yeah.
This
and
nice
he was
lady,
like, and when Ricky Saints came out, he was like, boo! And I'm like, yay! And he's like, no, he's bad. I'm like, no, I like him.
I like him. You can't argue that one. Sorry, buddy. He could be bad, but to me, he's good.
And I told him that he was friends with Cody, and he's like, wait, he's friends with Cody? I'm like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, outside of this business, they're hanging out on the bus. But we'll see what happens when they cross paths. And then, as we said, your main event, men's North American NXT champion, Ethan Page, because he is the top champ right now until they crown somebody this Tuesday with the ladder match. So he and the returning Santos Escobar, like Zorro, they took on El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. and my current new favorite, Shiloh Hill.
Shiloh Hill, that guy's crazy.
He's crazy, and he's what you see is what you get, and that's what I love about it. Like, there's so many layers, and there's a lot of deepness to him, and it's all wrapped in an enigma, and I like the Illuminati backing. And then it makes you question things like, is he telling the truth? Is he lying? He tells so many stories, kind of like the Joker in that way. Like, which of his origin tales are true? Which is made up? You never quite know. He's always got some strange story, though. I'm jealous you got to see him live.
Apparently, Dr. Wagner Jr., because after the match was over, Dr. Wagner Jr. talked. He said this is his first time touring with the NXT.
Wow. So, that's great. I'm glad he got a good reaction. The crowd, was very happy to see him from AAA.
They were great.
And crowd was everything you sent. This crowd was magical all night, and I don't say that often, but NXT fans are, they know all the chants. They know
what's
cheers.
funny. You know what's funny is this was their first time in Knoxville in 7 years.
Wow. Yeah. So hopefully they saw the reception. They saw that they were almost at capacity, and they bring it back. And sometimes
but Ricky Saints, he came out there and he was like, apparently they did a meet and greet before the show, which I was not aware of they even had, but apparently it was sold out anyway. I couldn't have gotten into it anyway.
I actually saw something for it, but it was like each ticket didn't get you entry. You had to buy, passes, and they were one was like $350.
Yeah, and Ricky Saints was at the meet and greet, and he said, he's like, I've never seen so many people that are ugly in this city. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. See, he's too good at being a heel, and then he can schmooze it over by just,
he's like, I'll be a 2-time champion after Tuesday night. And I was waiting for somebody to come out there. I was like, I'm waiting. Anybody coming out? No? Okay.
I thought somebody would respond to that. But so what was your favorite match overall?
And then Tony D'Angelo came out there, and I was like, he came out with no music, nothing. I mean, it was just like total silence.
Yeah, that was an interesting match. Ricky Saints essentially defeats Tony D'Angelo via DQ, and that was it.
Tony got himself DQ'd.
Yeah.
By hitting the referee and then throwing him out and then tossing the referee out of the ring.
I wonder who's going to take over NXT now that Ava's gone, because we've been seeing her argue with Tony D and everything.
I don't know who's going to take over.
Robert Stone, or is it going to be Shawn Michaels? We'll have to see, but at least there's intrigue to check out this Tuesday. But what was your favorite match overall?
Oh, I don't know. They were all good. I mean, the Street Profits match was pretty fun to watch.
But, I believe it. They're always hyped up.
The triple threat match was one I think I enjoyed the most. So.
The women's, yeah, absolutely. So, what would you give the show
Zaria's
overall?
Crazy. Zaria's whoo. I don't want to come anywhere near her.
No, she's got just inhuman strength. It's incredible what she can pull off. But yeah, it seems like a great time. What would you give it out of 10? What's your rating for this?
Well, since I was there, I'd probably give it like 8 out of 10.
That's a fair rating. I mean, like you said, 8 matches. Every single one of them was damn good. All but one had that DQ
it's
finish.
Like Tony D'Angelo, Ricky Saints match where it really wasn't a match. Kind of. It was more like, let me get disqualified, and then I'll attack you after the match is over.
A little bit of a brawl, yeah? Yeah. Exactly.
They had a little brawl after the match was over, and it was like, I'm just kind of like, Okay.
Then we'll fight to the end of destiny. Well, thank you so very much for telling us about your trip to NXT all the way out there in Knoxville. I'm so glad that you had a great time.
And then Santos talked. He got a mic after he had to talk for something.
Got the live mic
and all this stuff about his stuff. And I'm like, where you been for the last, I don't know, how many months now?
Yeah, because he was injured for so long. So... And then I guess they just weren't ready to use him. So it's glad to see. Maybe he's just on the house tour to get the rust off.
And then you got the Street Profits who haven't been around forever. So it's like...
They all could be just getting the rust off, going back through the paces and getting back in the ring to get back into it.
Well, I mean, I don't know if Bianca Belair, she went to school in Knoxville. So I don't know if he was there because she was there or...
Maybe.
Whatever.
Never know. But hey, it worked out well. They're going to be on the tour this whole weekend, I guess. So
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if they need to get back on the main roster because they need a tag team on that roster.
They were killing it on SmackDown with the Motor City Machine Guns and everything.
Where
have
they been? Well. Where have the Motor City? I haven't seen them either.
Nope. Tag team division is just non-existent on SmackDown right now.
The last time I saw the Machine Guns, they were at they did a AAA show this past weekend or the weekend before last. So
yeah, I think it was the weekend before, but still, they showed up there, but nothing with WWE official.
No, they haven't been on the WWE show in forever. I was kind of like, hello.
Maybe we'll see them in the Rumble.
You're not using.
You never know. That's for certain. They're going to need bodies to add in, but
yeah, and then you got the Usos who, they can't really. Well, Jimmy's is dealing with Naomi right now.
Yeah,
so.
Jimmy's nowhere to be found. He's hiding out apparently because he's not over at the Rumble. Funny enough how that works.
No, he's not at the Rumble because Jay's over there. So
Jay's representing all the Usos.
Yeah,
and Roman declared for the Rumble, so we got to see what happens with Mr. Suffer and Succotash. A lot to look forward to this Saturday. So, Liz, please.
That's tomorrow. I mean, that's tomorrow afternoon. It's a Rumble. It's like,
Yeah, we'll have you joining us tonight for the preview and prediction showcase. We're getting the whole community in on that.
That crazy show, that craziness. That's
absolutely.
Be crazy.
So, do me a favor. Tell these lovely people where they could find you.
All right. Well, you guys can find me on Twitch at DJ Anime 2016, and you can find any streams that you miss. You can find them on YouTube at the same name. So.
Yes,
simple
indeed.
And easy.
She'll be added as a collaborator, so you'll see her name right with mine. Make sure you're subscribed to both YouTubes, Liz and mine, youtube.com/Jake DeMarco. Thank you so much for hanging out. Follow me on Twitter at CountdownEnded, and happy Royal Rumble weekend. Until then, we'll see you later.
Get ready to rumble.
Yeah, stay sexy.
Breaking down the night, frame by frame.